just because I want to be good to somebody doesn't mean they're going to take it as I'm being good to them, because their version of good might be something fucking different. Just because I have good intentions on what I want to do for you or a project or in business doesn't mean it's going to be translated the same. Okay? So what I'm getting at is good intentions don't mean shit, because people have different perspectives, people feel things different, people see things different, and it's going to be taken how it wants to be taken. Now, with that being said, I think it's very redundant to motherfucking apologize for shit you didn't do purposely. I think it's redundant to assume that someone would understand where you're coming from all the time because you think like you do. What does everybody always say? Everybody doesn't think the same. And so we all need to have some type of patience and humility when it comes to, okay, so that's how you seen it? All right. I never looked at it like that. But no, I'm sorry. That's not what I was trying to say or what I wanted to say. And I'm sorry if, you took it in that sense. That was not my intentions. And some people will look at you in the face and lie and be like, no, that wasn't my intentions when I created that poster, or when I made that ad, or when I heard that song, or when I put all soul food on the menu today because it's Juneteenth at work. It wasn't my intentions. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And sometimes it be plain as day like that, right? And sometimes it be really foggy where you can take it either way, where it can be taken unprofessional and it can be taken by somebody as being okay for work. It just depends on who you're talking to, who you're dealing with. Like, know your environment, know your audience, know who you're pushing something to, know who's going to be actually using your product, your device, know who's going to be listening to your show. Like, all of that shit has something to do with it. So if I had the intentions of giving y'all a good show and it really sounded like shit and it really wasn't about shit, it don't matter. It don't matter. You know how homie be like on the panel on that basketball show? We don't care. We don't care. And sometimes people be like that. Like, they don't give a fuck about your good intentions, what you meant to do, how you meant something to come across. If it sounds like it sounds and it triggers people, then guess what? You trigger somebody. And don't say, oh, I apologize that you took it with that way. Own that shit. I apologize that this offended you. I was trying to do this, but I understand your perspective. Even if you don't understand their perspective, say that shit. But some people be having too much ego. Some people be having too much pride, and they'll sit there and watch somebody struggle, be triggered, and not say shit. Okay? This is the life that we live in, all right? So maybe, your parents had good intentions on how they raised you, but they raised you in a shitty way because that's the example that they saw when they were kids for a parent. You never know. But what you can do is open your mouth and ask them, hey, why did you raise me like this? Or why didn't you do this for me as a kid? I do this with my kids today, and it really means a lot. And I wish that's something that you would do. Like, I'm not saying to make your parents feel like shit, but it's always good to get some insight as to why they are the way they are. Okay? We can't sit here and judge our parents for being horrible people when they probably only saw horrible people growing up. I want to thank you for subscribing to the motherfucking She Gets Show. I appreciate y'all, for real. Y'all know I do not want to be out here working for these white men forever. You know what I'm saying? I do not want to be over here making sure they got trust fund babies. You know what I'm saying? I want to work for myself. So you guys subscribing to the She Gets It Show does put funds and income into my household to make me be able to do other things. So I just wanted to say that I appreciate it. I'm not going to sit on here and tell y'all I got merch, because y'all know I got merch because y'all been hanging with the girl for a while. Just check the links, you know what I'm saying, and you'll find it. But I do appreciate you guys. Don't forget to follow the show on She Gets It Pod on Twitter, on IG. Please leave a review. Tell me what you think. I appreciate y'all. Now back to this, because I know something juicy. Their intentions was to parent the best way that they could. And in their mind, that's what they did. Their intentions were good. The outcome wasn't great. Okay? So when we have kids now, I think it's very important for us to take the good things that we liked about being raised by our parents or our family and put them into our kids and do those things, for each other as parents. Okay? We gotta pour in ways where it makes sense. Good intentions really don't mean shit if the outcome gonna be shitty. I didn't mean for that cart to roll over on your foot. My intentions were to put it in the cart corral, but it rolled over on my foot. So what do you say? You apologize and you make sure that person is okay. That's it. You don't try to justify. You don't try to explain yourself. None of that shit. I understand people be wanting to get their point across, but none of that shit. Okay? We gotta be better. We gotta be smart. And if you're about to say something or do something that can be taken in a left way, side note, I called a left way the bad way, okay? Because it ain't right. If you're going to do something that's going to be taken in a good way for some people and in a bad way for some people, just don't unless you feel like you can battle that media, okay? Cameras are everywhere. People are everywhere. Even when there ain't no people around, there are cameras. So when you do things for people and you do things around people, be mindful. Be mindful. Maybe your intentions was to throw that baby up and catch that baby. But what if your hand slipped? Or somebody pushed you by accident and now that baby's face is in the flow? Good intentions don't mean shit. You still got to be aware. You still got to be smart. You still got to think 2 steps ahead. You still got to be knowledgeable about what you're talking about before you share it. Because people got receipts, they got screenshots, and they will let your ass know. Remember that time you fucked up? Remember that time you came to this event and you wasn't even supposed to be there? Remember this time you wanted to, tell the directions on the group trip and you got us lost? Like, good intentions sometimes is poor judgment. Okay? So just be careful, be easy, make better choices, and I don't know. Good intentions is a tricky thing because unless you communicate to the person that you're doing things around or for, you'll never know if you're improving your relationship with that person or you're dismantling it. All right? So you need to check in. You need to have discussions. You need to write sticky notes. Y'all need to have small talk so you don't have to have big arguments. Okay? Good intentions don't mean shit. I'm just letting you know.